a crazy surge in prostitution in the next 10 years. We're going to see a crazy surge in prostitution in the next 10 years because we will pick prostitution over a family. I interviewed 1,000 women in a year, and it showed me the dark realities of what is going on during this year. I saw women leave their husbands over no reason. I saw women that had children go out every night of the week. And the most depressing part was how common prostitution has become. We are going to see a crazy surge in prostitution in the next 10 years. I would not be surprised if it gets legalized in all the major cities, because from what I have seen, we will pick prostitution over a family. I'm not saying that's good, but we're seeing a huge surgence of OnlyFans models of women when they're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. Women at that age have the option to get married, and they are choosing prostitution. You see them going on Aiden Ross's stream. You see them getting invited to all the hot parties. Again, that's more fun and exciting to many women than a family.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashir Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Nor in this gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, wherever they may be. This is just a quick lesson through the spirit. As you saw, the Edomite John, she basically stated that we will see an increase in prostitution in the next 10 years. Well, I mean, prostitution is at an all-time high already. All right, so it's no coincidence that most women, whether be OnlyFans models or Instagram models, or prostitute themselves rather than to get married because of the quote-unquote burden that comes with marriage, which marriage is really not a burden if you're in your proper mind and if you understand the nature of men and women. But women in the West look at it as being a rather burden because of feminism. But prostitution is at an all-time high now, all right? And the average woman, on the average, is a prostitute. Okay, whether you're taking out on date or whether she's, you know, doing favors for money, whether she's selling naked pictures or porn or whatever it may be, or she just using jig for money or niggas for money, she's a prostitute. And that's actually scriptural, okay? And matter of fact, it's actually prophecy because the scriptures say, thy wife should be a harlot in a city. And the average woman, shit, she has about 15, 20 bodies on her, man. I'm talking about at the age of 19, 20, 21. Because these OnlyFans models, man, they begin flown out to Dubai, Morocco, Paris, to do favors for these, these so-called rich men. And then they come back to the States $20,000, $30,000 richer. And, they kind of shit on men. That's pretty much what they would consider average men. But over there in Dubai, I forgot they got a term for it. But basically they like shit buckets, man. They engage in these orgies and rituals. And these women, they get pooped on, man. They get shitted on, pissed on, and they may come back $30,000, $40,000 richer, but, they have to undergo some serious traumatic experiences, man, and this is what they don't tell you. But they come back to the West and they act all bossed up, not knowing the reason why she got that BMW or that Benz or that Porsche truck is because she was over there being a human experiment. She was over there being a human toilet. They peeing all in our clit, peeing all in our holes, crapping in our mouth, nutting on the eyeball. This is, not to get graphic, but this is the world we live in, man. Okay, and these women, they glorify that because you got the likings of Cardi B, you got Glorilla, Nicki Minaj, you got Suki Hana, you got sexy, unsexy Red, not sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion, and pretty much the Jake women leaders of our nation are none but a bunch of hoes and sluts, man. Okay, what's her name? Not Glorilla, Lasso or some shit, Ice Spice, Latto. Which back in the 90s, you had Lil Kim. Okay, what's the other chick name? You had Lil Kim and it was another chick too. She was just as bad, but I forgot her name. Lil Kim and it was another chick. But regardless of it, man, these women, they ain't right. And you got Jake that put babies in these women and then they end up stuck with them. But it says, has feminism and hoflation destroyed dating in the West? All right. And I would like to say hell to the yes. All right. Because feminism, for one thing, has been set up to be a aggravator towards men, because men, once they lost control of the households and the primary financial giver, the women started getting these positions of power, started getting higher paying jobs, and ultimately, started getting the better chances in life. It has totally made these women proud as hell, to the point they say we don't need a man. And hoeflation, okay, which when you go into hoeflation, is basically an overly influx of hoes on the market, man. Okay, because the average woman, even your woman, she may just be a back page prostitute, man. And I ain't trying to make you look at your women funny, but at the end of the day, I don't put nothing past none of these demons. Because like I said, it's 2024. The opportunity is there, and they have been more liberated than they have ever been. Okay, she can go down there and put you on child support, take your money and go trick off on a whole nother dude, man. While you sitting there taking care of a kid, don't want nothing to do with you. And that's the reality of a lot of men in this society, man. Unfortunate. This is why the Lord has to come back and he has to put things in order, man, because this is just totally getting out of hand, But it says here, it's a problem in the Western world that is rarely discussed in the media beyond puff piece articles and glancing polls that avoid connecting the dots. But the precipitous decline of dating, because ain't nobody dating no more. Like, men are going their own way. Men ain't trying to deal with women. And they got this whole thing called men being sassy now. Well, it's not the fact men being sassy. They're just waking up to their worth. Okay, like I was at a restaurant this weekend. I was eating, chilling, and I was just sitting at the bar chilling. A little spot I go to from time to time, just to kind of, get a balance. And I was talking to this one chick, man. She was talking to me, and she was telling me about her son and how, he's just something else. He comes in the hall, he checks on her, she coughs, he come, "Mama, you okay?" And back of my mind was disgusted, because I'm like, you have what they call mother and son husbands, when they raise these little boys to be the men who they desire to be with, because they never landed that simp or that so-called Prince Charming. They raised their sons up to be weak-ass beta males. You know what I'm saying? So she was breaking down the fact that how his son opens the door for women, and, he's just soft. And I'm like, well, where's his father? She's like, well, we ain't together. I'm like, well, obviously y'all not together. I mean, that's typical. But I'm like, well, yeah. She said, well, we co-parent, which that was probably a lie. But I'm like, that boy needs to be around his father more. You know what I'm saying? And she said, yeah, he spends time with him. But I'm like, you got him in that mindset. I'm like, that don't work in a world like this. I mean, women don't appreciate the niceness of a man like that. And on top of that, it's not really a manly thing, Like, it ain't really nothing wrong with opening a door for your woman if you prefer. But overall, that's not how things were generally done in the ancient world. Okay, because men, for one thing, are the prize, still are the prize. Not taken away from sincere sisters, because you have gifts you can bring to the situation as well. But ultimately, men are the king, okay? The patriarchy, the fathers, the progenitors, okay? They're the head of the thing, They make sense that they go first. You hold the door for your king, okay? He's royalty, and you're subjected to him. And I straight up told her, I said, she's like, you want to open the door for a woman? I said, it depends on the situation, but overall, I said, no. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if she's carrying up some groceries or something, I ain't going to be an asshole and slam the door in her face. But overall, I don't open up car doors for women, and I just don't. Okay, I haven't done that shit since forever, before I came in the truth, and I rarely did it then because it just didn't feel right. Now some people may say, oh my God, you're a misogynist. No, I don't hate women, but I know who I am as a man, and I know my worth, and I know what I represent according to Yahweh Shem Shah. I don't have to fucking do that. That's not my job to open the door for a fucking bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, she can open the door for me. I was playing devil's advocate, so you should have seen the look on her face. And she was just totally like, oh my God. But in the back of her mind, she was cut because she probably never heard that before. And, it's a new thing now. Men are in that mindset. And low key, she was probably like, damn, this guy's really a man, But she couldn't admit it because feminism. But the look she gave me was like utter disgust. But I'm like, but wait a minute. You get to feel the way you feel. You feel like somebody should cater to you or put you first. Why can't I feel like that as a man? Then she couldn't say anything. Because feminism has elevated these women, brothers. They really believe that they're more than what they really are. And we here to set the record straight. You're just women. Okay? And the definition of a woman means to be a servant. All right? Look it up. Woman, wife means the servant of the male counterpart, man. All right? And you are a servant to your man, whether you like it or not. All right? You're going to find that out in the time we get ready to enter into very soon that you never was over the man. All right. But anyway, it says, the precipitous decline of dating, committed relationships, and marriage, along with the flatline in population in the past couple of decades in the U.S., has treated as a novelty issue rather than the threat to the stability of civilization that it actually is. Because, I mean, you have to have kids, right, in order to increase the population. But women, they're getting desperate now, but men ain't dealing with them like that. You know, like, pay attention. You know, y'all go out, hey, they literally are throwing themselves in front of men to get some type of attention or a second look just for you to speak to them, and they want to curve you. Men are waking up to that shit. You know what I'm saying? And men are like, you know what? We're going our own way. We're not dealing with the games anymore. And that's bad for y'all because y'all getting ready to fend for yourselves. Okay? Nobody's going to come to your rescue. All the men you've got on child support and you've garnished in wages and you've gotten them locked up and you've committed adultery and got men sent to the spirit world. Hey, man, a lot of men are not going to come to the aid of you women in the time we're getting ready to enter into, man. And that's your own fault. But it says, in order to understand the problem, we have to look at the stats. But more than 50% of American women are still childless by the age of 30. And by 35, fertility goes into a steep decline, with women having a 15% chance of becoming pregnant and less than a 5% chance of motherhood at age 40 because their careers. And on top of that, a lot of them, they can't get pregnant because they shot the J. And a lot of, you know, the wombs, their box is just too polluted. Okay, they're too polluted down there, all right? Used goods. But it says, meaning the best window of opportunity for women to find a compatible partner and build a family is in their 20s, right? Like when you go to the Middle East or you go to those Asian countries, hey, they're happily married in their early 20s with kids, you know, and then, you know, the man is working, the woman is at home, and she's bringing her share of the table, her share of the points to the table, and, you know, everything works out. But unlike here in the West, you know, you like, look at Vivica Fox and look at Lisa Ray. You know, Vivica Fox without Botox having ass, with that deep voice. Oh, yeah, when I came in my femininity, I finally admitted that I was 60 years old. Like, nobody wants your big head ass, man. Okay? Nobody wants your ass, man. Looking like an overly inflated beanbag, man. You know, she's a damn mess. And back in her early 20s, she looked good. You know, and nobody couldn't touch it, damn. And now she's 60. Ain't nobody trying to settle down with her ass, man. And that's for the majority of you. Most of you gonna die single and alone. And so what? You know? But it says here, feminists argue, though, that this is the time in a woman's life when they should be building a career and having fun. Family life, they say, is an artificial prison created by the patriarchy, which is the poison that the West have venomed out, because in the East, they don't think like this. Okay? In order to oppress the fairer sex. But corporate media and Hollywood entertainment often reinforce this narrative and encourage unrealistic life goals. Yep. And that's absolutely right. Okay. Now, this is a good article. I'm not going to read it all. But this is a good article, and I'm going to link it in the description so you brothers can look at this, because this is true facts. It says, the propaganda has generated what many prefer to be as the female happiness paradox. But surveys showed that increased power, job access, and responsibility for women in society since the 1970s has also led to a diametrically opposed decline in overall happiness for those same women. And in a roundabout way, they're telling you, because that's not the normal consensus of a woman, to go to work and to be a career woman and to be out here playing the field. Okay, you were designed to be a wife. As the scriptures tells us, that the woman are likewise the woman marry and bear children and take care of the house. That's your role, but you've been led to believe that that was oppressive and offensive, and it's not. That's where you actually thrive at, and you're most happiness there, man. You know? But it says the correlation suggests the exact opposite of what feminism originally promised, and that the ideology has been a net negative, all right? So anyway, let's get a precept here. It's the book of Timothy, 1 Timothy, matter of fact, Yep. 1 Timothy 5:6, it says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Yeah, because like I said, these women are dead from the freaking neck up, man. All right. You know, like Apostle Gavar always say, somebody's home, but the elevator don't go up to the top floor. Okay, because they're literally out here operating outside of their natural order. Like they literally are fucking they're zombies. They're drones, they're bots, man. They're like androids. You know, out here fighting, twerking, dancing, screaming, growling, biting, foaming at the mouth, doing backflips, man, trying to dunk a basketball, you know, in there trying to put niggas in rear naked chokes, man. These women are completely out of order. And that's why I say that this shit can't go down quick enough, bro, because we're tired. We just tired. We just tired of the system, period. All right, the oppression, just all the way around, the constant headaches, man, the body ailments. It's just like there's no end to the hell we catch in this place. All right. But it says here, but she that living in pleasure is dead while she living. All right. But I'm going to go down here to verses 14. Beautiful that we in the same chapter. This, matter of fact, let's jump around a little bit. Verses 13. It says, and withal, they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers, also busybodies, you know, in everybody's business. First thing you hear, you go in a damn place or the job, or whether you got a family full of females, which most Jakes have mostly women in the family because women outnumber men 7-1. I mean, they're just a given. Okay, most families are going to have more women in it than boys, than men, because like I said, men are the rare commodity, which proves that, you know, we're more of the prized possession because we're rare. Okay, for every 7 women, you have 1 man. You know, like go to a comedy show, you may have 10% men, 90% gonna be women. Anywhere you go, for real. But it reads here, it says, speak a thing which they ought not, but I will rather therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, and guide the house. All right. So this is the job of a woman. Guide the house. Have children. All right. And don't have a child for a paycheck, but have a child to nurture it and to bring it up in righteousness. Okay, like the scriptures say, train up a child in the way he should go and he should not depart from it. That's the mentality you're supposed to be putting on your kids. Not teaching your kids to be a boss woman or independent woman or a career woman. You know, like I got a daughter that's 14 years old that should be promised off to one of her brother's sons. But you think on the opposing side, she's trying to prep that little girl to go to fucking college, man. Go to college and join the Olympics. No, she needs to be fucking a wife, man. You know, but in this world, hey, the women gets all to say so. But it reads, it says, therefore, that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, and give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. But for some are already turned aside after Satan, man. All right. And all these women are given over to Satan. Okay, whether you like it or not, hey, your woman, she's given over to Satan. You know, she may have a couple of times, or she may have some times when she's acting right. But hey, eventually Satan gets her ass too, man. You know, because she started to bug out and talk a little shit, you know, and you would never have thought like, damn, I thought you was one of the good ones. But she have our moment when she bucks up and argues back. Because Satan getting to her, man. You know. So Rock 26, and I'm going to start at verses 8. It says, a drunken woman and a gathered abroad causes great anger, and she would not cover her own shame. Yeah, and that's the common female. They don't take accountability for what they've done. You know, here a bitch got 3 kids and, you know, 3 different baby daddies, and she'll put 2 of them on child support because she had another one that the other one don't want to deal with. So now you got to pay for the other one, all because she don't want to take accountability and admit that she was out here sticking and moving like she's a damn male, you know. That's wickedness, man. And there's going to come a judgment for that behavior real soon. It says, but the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and her eyelids, you know, the makeup, the eyeshadow, you know, the fake baby hair. Like you got 50, 60-year-old woman with fake baby hair, man. Like, what you doing with that? But it says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly. And all these girls are shameless, man. 12 years old out at 2 o'clock in the morning doing what? 14 years old getting in a damn club. Like, for what? But it says, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. But watch over the impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Because she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler, when he hath found a fountain, and a drink of every water near her, and by every hedge will she sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow, all right? And that basically tells you the mentality of these females. They jump rod the rod, man. All right? You break up with them, hey, 2 weeks later, if not a week later or a day later, they're already on the next man's rod. Because, you know, the woman, even though she breaks up with you physically, mentally, she's already broken up with you. You know? And that's just how they operate. Last precept, Amos 7 and 17, it says, therefore thus says the Lord, thy wife should be a harlot in the city. All right, and we're in the city, right? And thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land should be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go forth into captivity forth of his land. And that's talking about over here. All right, so anyway, I'm going to end it, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rakakadash. Lord's will, you will edify to the next lesson. Shalom.